Hi, my name is Barry Berlin, and I've been involved in the Woodruff Arts Center for 15 years or so. I'm currently a life trustee, and all during that time, I've been associated with the wealth management firm in the city, and the Kendeda Fund as an advisor and sometime grant maker and friend of the organization, and I was really happy to be in a position to marry the two interests, the Art Center and Kendeda, over both the theater competition and other things over the years. It's been a joy to do. In the early 2000s, when a number of arts and cultural organizations in Atlanta were suffering, it was post 9/11, there had been a recession, people weren't prone to go out in crowds, they were still nervous, and we put together, Kendeda, put together a $2.5 million package of funds for both the major arts organizations in the community and many of the smaller ones working through the Metro Arts Fund, and distributed that money that year. And I think it was helpful and allowed some organizations to survive, or at least survive longer if they're not around today. A few years later, or maybe just 18 months later, noticing that the landscape had changed, the economy was doing well, the city and most organizations were on better footing, we did a second wave, and that entailed asking some of the larger organizations in the city, including the Alliance and the High Museum, the Symphony, Opera, Ballet, a handful of others, ask them to dream a bit, put together a one-page proposal for something they'd like to do that would help them make them stronger, but something that they're just totally unable to do or even think about with the current budget. So on the due date, a week later, I had 8 or 10 proposals, some in micro font that was very difficult to read because I said, keep it to one page. You know how that works. And I don't think any of the proposals had any margin left on the page. And the Alliances was very clever. And it was basically a brainstorm around the program that we're enjoying now. And it's 20 years on. And I remember that first year, they had kind of an all-star lineup of readers to determine the winning play. Remember Alfred Urey wrote Driving Miss Daisy, Local Man, and subsequently determined a winner, produced the first play, which is memorialized on the poster behind me, and it was in the Hertz Theater. That must have been 18 or 19 years ago. So here we are, a self-perpetuating program. I think the plays do pretty well with the public. I think there's a number of people in town who look forward to them every year. And we know now that the writers would characterize it as a success. I think just from meeting a lot of the writers over the years, it validates their choice and their passion is what they want to do with their lives. And even though very few people write plays that are internationally produced or wind up on Broadway or what have you, they're able they've been validated enough through this, and I'm sure their fine arts degrees and the like, to continue writing and writing creatively for a living. I'm grateful we've been able to do that, and I think the competition's been able to do that.